The love of football started when we were playing on the streets. There were no rules. We would use stones to make the goalpost. So there were no worries there. It was just the love of it, playing with passion.
On the 11th of June 2010, the eyes of the world settled on Soccer City Stadium, just outside the township of Soweto in South Africa. The moment was the culmination of years of hard work to host football's greatest tournament on African soil. 90,000 fans and a youthful South African team stood ready to fulfill the dream of Nelson Mandela.
It's Africa's first World Cup, and it's the host South Africa against the Mexican side who have to compete against not just the 11 men on the field.
We won the ball in the midfield, right in the center. As soon as Kagiso Dikgasha had the ball, I made a sprint on the left. He played a good pass. My intention was to loop it over, but on second thought, I just unleashed a powerful shot, and the rest was history.
I remember we had gone for the bid years before, and we didn't get it, and it was disappointing. That day, though, I think everything was so aligned.
I was at home. I was on the phone with a friend of mine. We were having a nice chatty conversation about the draw and what it would mean for South Africa if Seb actually pulls out that card and it says South Africa.
This is an opportunity to talk about what Africa has done and how Africa can use the World Cup as a bridge, where it used to be, to what it can be.
In a country where sport unites, came the opportunity to host the most watched sporting event on earth.
When Dr. Mandela walked into that room, I knew he's going to do it again with this Madiba magic thing.
He was old, he was sickly already at that time. His doctors had advised against him making any traveling, especially long traveling. Nelson Mandela walked into that hall, and the FIFA executives, the old men that they are, were like kids in a lolly shop.
I think the Egyptians had the actor Omar Sharif as their sort of main guy, but there's no one who can go up against Nelson Mandela.
The greatest statement ever to live, Nelson Mandela.
They were meant to make the announcement at 12 o'clock, you know, Swiss precision, but he only walked into the room at sort of 12:13.
I have no envelope. Perhaps somebody will give me an envelope.
So Madiba was probably the only guy who's made, and the FIFA guys late for anything, but that's the power of the man, you know. There's just no denying his charisma and his charm.
The 2010 FIFA World Cup will be organized in South Africa.
The scenes of jubilation, elation that lifted the roof. I get goosebumps even talking about it now. It was one of the greatest moments after black men in this country cast his vote for the first time on April 27, 1994. It meant a great deal. Afterwards, Nelson Mandela then poses with the FIFA World Cup. He holds it like you know, a kid does, his teddy bear, at night, and he says, I felt like a boy of 15, tears welling in his eyes.
Thanks to a personal appearance by Nelson Mandela, South Africa had successfully lobbied to host the first African FIFA World Cup in 2010.
Had we had an incident where someone related to the tournament, you know, a player, a fan, had been attacked and injured or killed, it would have been huge. You know, it would have been, we told you guys, you know, what were you thinking about taking the World Cup to Africa?
If something goes wrong today, this whole World Cup, you know, is going to be an interesting challenge. So you are worried. It's not my responsibility, but I'm worried. Is this okay? Are we going to kick off on time? Are people going to be here on time?
It's Africa's first World Cup, and it's the host South Africa against the Mexican side who have to compete against not just the 11 men on the field.
The stakes were high, and now it's time to show South Africa, the whole world, who we are. We won the ball in the midfield, right in the center. As soon as Kagiso Dikgasho had the ball, I made a sprint on the left. He played a good pass. My intention was to loop it over, but on second thought, I just unleashed a powerful shot, and the rest was history.
I've seen him do those runs, you know? You think, okay, he's gonna cross or shoot and it's gonna miss. You know that?
That goal, it meant something, you know. For me, it was like, you know, from God, this is what I can offer you, you know.
The goal that I scored in the opening game against Mexico, it was special, and it will always be special. It was my first World Cup, you know, and I was the only one in the entire world who scored that goal. You know, I'm truly, you know, thankful to God for that.
I can tell you, when Spiwe Shabalala put that ball into the back of the net, sure, the world could have come to a standstill.
I looked at the World Cup as a catalyst to what the country needs to build on. You know, and I think maybe, you know, we need these big events and these sort of seminal moments in our history to unite us and galvanize us.
You've got a highway in Gauteng that's got about 5-6 lanes, which leads to less congestion. So it's actually been nice. You've got hotels that are upgraded. Everyone has actually learnt from what is expected in terms of international standards of service. So from that point of view as well, it's been actually quite nice to reap those rewards and actually have those standards remain within the country.
Sepp Blatter gave us the report card that he gave us in a nutshell to say this has been the greatest World Cup ever. Tough luck, Brazil. No pressure.
You saw South Africans embracing this moment because, I'll go back to the beginning, we're learning to believe and trust in one another because we're putting ourselves in each other's shoes and saying, can you do it? Yes, you can. You need help? I'll help you. And that's what I thought I saw.
For me, what was at stake really was genuinely showing that this is what we are about, the South Africans. You know, this is what we mean, and this is the kind of united country we know we're striving for, that we want, and that the World Cup was a catalyst for.
Africa and excellence from that day was affirmed in that it can be mentioned in the same sentence.
The most important thing that the World Cup achieved is to shift the perception of how the world sees Africa. But one step further, it changed the perceptions of Africans about themselves.